Welcome to PeaceMaker Season 2, Episodes 6 to 8, Breakdown and Review. I'm your host, Taladia Plays, and I'm joined this week by Jared from Comics League. Welcome, brother.
What's up?
Not much, man. So we're here to talk about Peacemaker Season 2, Episodes 6 to 8. Now, I know you're not a big James Gunn fan. I know you're not the, biggest fan of his
I've
work.
liked some of his stuff. Let's be clear. I've liked some of his stuff.
Okay. Now, going into this season, because you've seen season one,
Mm-hmm.
like you can tell the fans, you've seen season one, correct?
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with season one. Season two was a vast improvement.
Season two. So, from your first experience of episodes 1 to 5, what did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed. It seemed like he Gunn toned down on the stuff that I didn't like. Like there was still some coarse humor, like the orgy scene, but besides that, it seemed a little bit more of a mature take on the show, which I appreciated.
Okay, now getting to episode 6 through 8. Shall we start off with episode 6?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, this one I found really disturbing.
Oh, you mean the Nazi episode? Yeah, I found that was pretty fun. That was interesting. It's like everyone saw that coming, kind of, because it's like, okay, it's in an Earth where there's no people of color on this
Yeah.
Earth. So I'm like, yeah, you kind of thought about it. I'm like, okay, that's
They beat
interesting.
the horn. There's one, get out. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty. It was actually pretty well done reveal, I would say, even though everyone guessed it.
it was a pretty well done reveal. I'll give props to them for actually sticking to their guns, as they so called say,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting to see Judo Master help Addy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, he seems like more of like he's a member of the team now, so I'm like, okay, I can kind of go with that. The other thing that I felt was kind of funny is where Harcourt is pointing out all the signs that this was a Nazi Earth to the point where there was a mural of Hitler, and she goes, "You didn't see," and then I love Peacemaker goes, "How did I not see that?"
I guess he's what's it called? What's his name? The mustache. He's got blindness for that.
Yeah, he's got Nazi blindness. That's a condition. Oh, bird blindness. Oh, okay, yeah. That was another thing where I'm like, okay, it's like that was a joke that kind of went on that actually did not actually go on for too long, but I was okay with that. But
That's a condition, by the way. That's not your condition.
it really is. Oh wow,
No, I'm joking. I'm just joking.
yeah.
I'm just trying to.
But
So,
was episode 6 when Luther showed up, or was that 5?
no, episode 6 was. I think it was Luther. Episode 6, 6 or 7 was Luther. Yeah.
Which again, that's the way to to show you that this is all interconnected and stuff. And again, what the show does pretty well, I would say, so far, and this is a praise on the entire DCU, but I'll restrict it to Peacemaker for this, is
Yeah.
because it's like now as of yet this could change, but the idea of like the way they handle like the quote unquote homework thing is they say, oh, remember, like you opened a portal in Metropolis and it destroyed a good portion of the city, referencing the events of Superman. But they do it in a general enough way that's like if you say Lex Luthor and he's in jail, people will assume, okay, Superman stopped him and like blah, 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 blah. All this stuff happened.
And he's got a cane like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he got thrown about by Crypto.
And you know what makes me think? That's the end result is now for him to have a power suit from this.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think that's definitely happening at one point.
So bringing it back to Peacemaker, though, yes, I was surprised to see Lex more than anything. But what's also surprising, I think personally, is how Peacemaker, the revelation that Peacemaker was not from that earth, and how he just wanted to feel for his dad and his brother. His brother
Mm-hmm.
accept him at the end of it. His dad dying in front of him again.
And I love how that happens. Where like where like the father has like this big speech, I'm a good guy and stuff, and then the other vigilante just goes through the window and starts stabbing him in the neck.
I'm just like, not again. I'm like,
I'm
not
like, oh,
again.
so it's one of those things. I'm like, okay. Oh, they apparently now Spider-Man is canon to the DCU because they go, we do
Yeah,
the Spider-Man meme.
yeah, we do it there. That's cool. I think the Spider-Man is canon. I think that was cool. But also, I find it interesting is how they spelled Cheerio.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's what they sometimes do with the multiverse is what they kind of do is if they don't want to go like in depth onto what does this look like when it comes to like how do the Earths look different, what they will typically do is make it where it's familiar enough, so like everything else is like relatively consistent except for some minor changes, and they could be as small as just that, as just the spelling is different, or traffic lights work different, or it could turn into, oh, this in this world the Nazis won World War II.
Yeah. But like I said, when I look at the uh show, when I look at this episode, I was just like, what? How do you spell Cheerio like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just really confusing. But Scrabble was another thing too. I noticed that they changed the name,
Mm-hmm.
so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Um, but we did get Adebayo's talking to a girlfriend situation, and that was like heartfelt
Mm-hmm.
because she broke up with her and all of that.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but Peacemaker though, getting himself arrested after him losing his father and going back to his dimension, I'm just like,
It shows he has character development. He goes, I've screwed up these people's lives. I'm like, okay, that's I can kind of dig that.
yeah. And this is what I was like saying. It was like this character development. And the
Mm-hmm.
one thing I love that James Gunn did with this season is you feel for the character, for each individual character you felt for,
Mm-hmm.
right? This season you did, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like from start to finish, you feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but man, oh man. I mean the once we get to the last episode, but the second to last episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they're trying to escape, it's like how they did that is really good. But Sasha
Mm-hmm.
Bordeaux's character,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, Sol Rodriguez's character, Sasha Bordeaux, who is from Batman's realm of things.
Batman, checkmate. She's also associated with Maxwell Lord, so she'll probably eventually end up there. Well, actually, maybe not, because this Maxwell Lord is not going to turn into a villain, according to Gunn, at least.
But Sasha Bordeaux, I was just like really impressed by her.
Yeah, I like that character a lot. It's an interesting like idea with the character and the way they do the whole cyborg thing, and I really dug, like, they made it more of like under the skin type of cyborg, and of course some people on the internet were like, oh, this is a cyborg, it looks so cheap, and I go, normally I would agree with you. The thing is like, the only time we would ever really know she is a cyborg, Taladia, is like because there are some images of like her skin on half of her face comes off in the
Yeah.
comics. So I'm like, that's the only way you would really know. So it's not like it's not like she's not like Vector Stone.
But the question I have, the obvious question, how the hell did she lay in bed with Rick Flag Sr.?
I don't know. That's the other that was one of the parts I didn't like, because the way they just heel turned Rick Flag Senior's character, I was like, nah, I'm
This is
not
not
digging that.
wrestling. This is not wrestling, guys.
Yeah, yeah. You can't just do that. I'm like, no, I'm not digging that at all.
I'm just like, nah, nah.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say though, we got to see some of the characters from Superman return into Peacemaker, which I thought was
Mm-hmm.
very well written. Right, just bring
Yeah.
them back for plot point. Uh,
It connects the movies and the franchises. That's the
yeah,
way you do it, and that's the
yeah,
easy way to like relatively make it so all these things take place in like the same idea.
yeah, for sure. And I think the one thing that let me down though,
Mm-hmm.
out of the episodes 6 to 8, was James Gunn hyping it up too much.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's the part that really bit him in the ass. Because I get that he has to hype it up because like it's his project and he's the CEO, but it's like he made it out like this is gonna be like the biggest reveal. There's gonna be huge cameos. Happer Sam is not a huge cameo. Lex is the one that you could juggle, but we're like, wait a minute, we figured what Lex was gonna be. None of this is new.
But the thing is, he hyped it up so much so, saying episode 8 was going to be the best thing. And but then he admitted that he made a mistake.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. It's like because some people challenged him on it didn't introduce any new concepts, and people were like, "Well, it did. It introduced Sanctuary." And I go, "Okay, here's the thing. Here's the problem with that. Again, he's assuming that the general, because he has to realize eventually that he's operating for the general audience when he's a CEO and stuff."
Yeah.
And the general audience doesn't know what Sanctuary is. Trust me, Talia, Sanctuary was a deep pull. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea. They did a deep pull, but he can't expect the general audience to go, oh my gosh, Sanctuary.
Same thing was like Checkmate. Not
Yeah.
many people know about Checkmate.
Exactly. That is a really deep pull. I mean,
That was a deep pull.
when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's interesting, and I figured that was going to happen because that's the secret way you could get a Peacemaker season 3, and he can go, actually, it's a Checkmate show, but it's about Peacemaker. But I'm like, again, the general audience going into that is going to be like, what's Checkmate?
You know, I put this out there on Ronan's channel.
Mm-hmm.
I said this on Ronan's channel. What if they make a Checkmate show?
Yeah.
Right? That can work,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, you got Judo Master, you've got Sasha Bodo's, you got Sasha Bodo, the Cyborg, and then you've got like Vigilante, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Peace Wrecker, right? Think about it. Jennifer Holland's character, Amelia Harcourt, turns into Peace Wrecker.
That could work. That could be cool. It's just I'm just waiting to see. I need to see more of this because it's like this kind of shook my trust in Gunn a little bit because I'm like, okay, whenever he hypes something, and this is what he has to realize. Mm-hmm. This is the danger with overhyping stuff over and over and over again. Eventually, the general audience is going to stop believing you. Let's say I was making a movie and you were the audience, and I keep saying, Taladia, there's gonna be some big stuff in this movie. You really need to see it. Then when I see it, it's just a 2-hour video of me walking. And I keep doing this over and over and over again. Are you going to trust me if I tell you, oh, my next project's going to be important?
No.
Exactly. Because all episode 8 was like basically a mixtape.
A mixtape of Foxy Shazam and the other group. I can't remember the other group's name, but
yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can do that occasionally, but not for your reveal episode that you literally were telling us, oh, big things happening. That's important to the future of the DCU. And I go, at the very least, you should have had like, you know, what would have been a big reveal if
Go on.
if we saw like Lex get broken out by like, let's say, Deathstroke or any of the other villains, and then they go, this is for you, the war suit, and that's the last shot of it, and that sets up Man of Tomorrow. That's how you hype it up.
But like I said, I feel that when I look at Peacemaker, I think they're setting up the bigger world, which I think they did
Yeah,
well with
yeah,
episode 7 when they set it up checkmate. No, what's it, 7 or 8? They set up they
one of
set up
those.
yeah, they set up checkmate, and I was just like, wow, they actually pulled something from the comics that the last time we saw something like checkmate was on Smallville. We've never seen it in the DCEU. We never saw it in Arrowverse. So this is the first time in over like a decade we've seen checkmate on TV,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is pretty cool. Now, are they going to execute it in another show? Oh,
We'll see. They could. They could. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like saying, oh, it's over now. There are some people saying it's over now, which I'm like, no, it's not. But it's like, let me put it to you this way. My likelihood to believe James Gunn if he says, oh, this is important, just went down.
like I said, when I look at Peacemaker as a whole,
Yeah.
I think Peacemaker does take stuff from the comics,
Yeah,
and
of course.
it does work as an entity, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, again, I enjoyed season 2 way more than season 1. And but I did like how he said how he actually had to say, look, I didn't wipe anything out of canon from like episode 1, let's say. And
Yeah.
similar events happen in the universe, which that's the way the comics work. But I'm just like, guys, it's like, again, it felt a little bit more mature. And honestly, Peacemaker season 2 felt like the checkmate show. In other words, it felt more like the spy show that we should have gotten. And I'm like, okay. And again, Sanctuary, that's a great idea. As like a conflict with the metahuman stuff, that's a cool idea. You just can't expect the general audience to know what the hell that is.
Like I said, when the
Mm-hmm.
general audience don't seem to understand those types of things, they have to look it up on the internet or do
Yeah.
research on it, right?
Which helps us as content creators, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna bite the hand that feeds me. But again, now as a comic book fan, I was like, oh, as soon as I saw Sanctuary, I was like, okay, now I know what that is. So I'm like, oh, that is clever. That could be a really fun conflict.
it's a really fun conflict, but
Mm-hmm.
as James Gunn has stated, he's not going to bring the big gun, so to say, to this run.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, are they going to use another character to replace it?
Who, Darkseid?
Yeah, they're going to change it. They're not
Well,
going to use.
he's using the concept because Darkseid was using it as a training ground for like his Apocalypse forces, but I think really what he's doing is he's just using the concept of it because he's not doing a straight up adaptation of Salvation Run.
But what would be cool is Mongol.
You could do that. That could work. That would be a great villain and a villain that we've never had.
A villain that's never been done in television or live action before, but it would be cool to have Mongol be the big bad
Mm-hmm.
for the Justice League to kind of set that up for the war. Think about Warworld Saga, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Anyone that hasn't read that story, do it. You will thank me.
Yeah, you if you haven't read a comic or picked up a comic before, that is a comic to pick up. Superman Warworld. It's a very good comic, a very good run, and it basically tells you Superman loses his powers and he has to escape from the war world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty good run.
It is.
Um, but bringing it back to Peacemaker, I really dug the first 5 episodes were brilliant. I gave the first 5 episodes like a solid 8 or 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now going from 6 to 8 what would you give this 6 to 8?
7.
7 overall.
Because overall because of the fumbled ending. It's still above average, but I still give it a 7. Overall, I give it like a 7.5, like factoring into the whole season is what I mean.
But it's up there, man. Honestly, it's like for me as a DCU project, it still excited me each week. I got to have a conversation with my friends about PeaceMaker.
Oh yeah, of course.
But like I said, I'm still excited for Lanterns. That's the show.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. As a Green Lantern fan, I'm hoping that's good.
Because remember, James Gunn has stated everything is leading one after the other, and next year is a big year for DC because this is gonna make or break the DC Studios brand. Right? You got Lanterns, you got Supergirl, then you've got Clayface. Those 3 projects alone are gonna it's not James Gunn hasn't touched those projects, so it's either make or break for the studio. But this was just a starting point for Peacemaker. Peacemaker and Superman were the starting point with Creature Commandos, and for a year 1 of the DC studio entity, I think that they're off to a good start.
Pretty good start in terms of quality. Yeah, the potential is there. If they live up to the potential, that's the other lesson, but that's the other like factor. But the potential is definitely there for something really good.
Yeah, but I also will say when I look at when I look at Peacemaker being stuck in that what's it called, Salvation, right? I wonder, will he go all wildebeest?
You could do that. That'd be fun.
Or will there be dinosaurs in that universe? That's a question.
I would. I think there is a universe where where dinosaurs rule the earth, or because there were, like as you said, some creatures roaring. I would say maybe more like just general aliens or like alien beasts as such.
But there is one thing we forgot to touch on,
which
is them going into the different pocket dimensions, right?
I thought that was kind of underwhelming because I'm like, the potential is there. If you wanted cameos, that's where you put the cameos in there. That's what I thought he was going to do.
But it's like, I mean, don't get me started on the imp humping, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, now it's a James Gunn project.
And I'm like, God dang, like, I was lost for words. Okay,
that's when you know it's a James Gunn project, when he puts like that type of humor in it.
I was lost for words because I was just like, how does the hell does an imp know how to do that?
It's again, don't question it. It's James Gunn.
I mean, sometimes you have to, Jared. Sometimes you have to.
I know you should question everything. That's what I always say.
But I really thought like some of the other dimensions were pretty cool as well.
Yeah, of course.
The skull and pocket dimension, that was cool to see as a CGI effect. Right,
that was cool, and they did a good job on that.
And then what else was there? There was when
zombie world. I like the I wonder if that's the deceased zombie world.
I mentioned that. I think that's a disease. I think that's the deceased world.
Can you imagine if we get a deceased series like we had Marvel Zombies?
Animation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that needs to be animated.
A deceased animated show with David Cornsweet.
Yep, all the actors playing their roles. You could definitely have some fun with that. Plus, maybe they could turn Lois into a zombie.
Yeah, can't
I
do it,
had
man.
to. I had to. I had to.
This is not.
Every time I
This is
come
not.
on a show, I have to be a little bit of Lois hate.
But this is not the show for that
Yeah, I
because there's
know.
no Lois. But I will, and I will say this: I did appreciate James Gunn taking stuff from the comics and putting them into the show,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah, of
Which
course. And he adapted it pretty well.
he did it pretty well, and he did it in such a way that I never thought you'd see something like this, right?
Hmm.
Like as an instance, the the Nazi world, right?
Hmm.
You would never assume that you would get that for Peacemaker season two.
Hmm.
You thought maybe a Peacemaker season two would be something about him going venturing off to another universe and staying there,
Hmm.
or retconning the DCEU to the DCU. That's what everyone predicted.
Hmm.
Remember, including us. We both predicted that,
Hmm.
but that never happened.
Yeah.
So I think though James Gunn did well to kind of retcon things
Mhm.
and to kind of keep
Well,
things in check.
he didn't really retcon things because it's like it's more of like he was like, this is just taking place on another Earth, which I figured that's what he was going to do.
Yeah, but still,
Hmm.
I still think as a um as a TV watcher, I really dug how we dug into each episode, and there's each individual character. They got their own arc, so to say.
And I will say, I very much enjoyed Bordeaux. I think she was my favorite episode of the season.
Oh, oh, we got 5 gifted from myself and comics.
Hey,
Bianca,
Bianca.
thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for becoming. Let me see. I'll take a look at who got a members just now. Just give me a second. Uh, give me one moment, guys. Get a tab. All right, because I can't believe it. But yeah, Jared, like, how do you feel about Pete? Like the way things were dealt with the Nazi world.
I'm pretty the Nazi world thing. That's where my issues really start because I thought that was going to be the plot, but it ends up not being really anything. That's the point of criticism that I'm gonna embrace because it's like it didn't really amount to anything in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Um, but honestly, I'm still excited for the rest of the
Oh
DCU.
yeah, 100%. Again, there's a lot of fun potential. And I can't wait to see if they live up to it. Because again, I've said many times, if they actually like pull it off and it actually becomes like really dope, which again it very well could, I'm going to definitely give Gunn his flowers in that case.
Yeah. So Bianca got gifted a membership, by the way. Jeffrey got gifted, and Draven, um, um, also got gifted a membership. So congratulations to you guys. So anyway, bringing it back to thing. Let's just see what she said. She says still working, so I can't hear you guys, but wanted to make sure I liked and promoted the live before. So I appreciate that, Bianca. Thank you very much. Um, so Jared, so we talked about rating the overall, you know, overall episode
Mm-hmm.
for a season on its own merit. What would you rate it
7.5.
as a whole?
7.5 for sure. Yeah,
For me,
7.5 as a whole.
it's an 8.
Okay,
For
that
me,
works.
for me, it's an 8. The reason why I put it as an 8 because there was a loads of things that I found really cool. Checkmate, Sasha Bordeaux, um, what else was there? The White Rabbit, not White Rabbit. There was the reference to the Nazi world, the or also I would even say, how Augie Smith,
Mm-hmm.
how his character impacted Peacemaker's life in this
Mm-hmm.
season, and like I really felt for the character.
Yeah,
So
that was cool.
and the way he said, "Oh, I met the other version of me," and told him to go
Mm-hmm.
back to his world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, man, I wish the blue white dragon was in the red dragons, uh, red white dragons universe.
Mm-hmm.
Switch them around. That would have been cool to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he had a code of conduct. Would you believe, Jared?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, he killed people, right? Or deleted people.
Well, and the other thing is like people were blasting it, saying, "Well, he didn't do anything on the Nazi Earth. What can he do?"
He, it's just
There's not that much he can do.
no, but it's still it makes the world interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like that. There's not that much that he can do with that. So I'm like, okay, I appreciate the sort of the sort of moral ambiguity you got with this episode. So that's why it's like, okay, I'll give it that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then Amelia Harcourt was a really standout badass character in
Mm.
this season.
I felt she was kind of pushed a little too far, so she wasn't my favorite.
Now, I mean, the way she worked like Jennifer Holland
Mm-hmm.
worked up for this season
No,
to be.
and I understand that. It's just her character has never really been a favorite of mine.
Now I understand. For me, it was like she built up, and it was like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
like this is something I want to see from Amelia Harcourt, taking down guys, beating them up,
Mm-hmm.
giving them a black eye if they need the black eye.
Mm-hmm.
After everything she went through from season 1 to season 2,
Mm-hmm.
it's it all adds up.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the end of the season, like leading into the Chris Smith disappearing acts, disappearing, in the middle of, I think was it middle of the night, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, when Rick Flag Senior like said, "I'm taking you. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
put you in another. This is for peace. What's it called? Rick Flag Junior, right?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. What a D move to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just like,
Just when you think everything was going well for Peacemaker.
just when you think Peacemaker was safe and sound, they grab you again, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, no. I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't want that to be the case for Peacemaker. But
Mm-hmm.
the bad news is we're not getting a Peacemaker season 3.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is we're getting Creature Commandos season 2.
Yep. Which I'm excited to see what they do with that. That should be fun.
Now I made a wild guess, because when James Gunn was like saying, "Oh, I got a big surprise" and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought GI Robot was gonna make an
Yeah,
appearance.
me too. I'm like, it's a wasted opportunity to have GI Robot and then not like have him go to a planet literally filled with Nazis.
That would have been cool if you had GI Robot in this season. That would have
Mm-hmm.
been
Yeah, yeah,
wild to
exactly. That
do.
would have been great.
I mean, they had the facilities for making a GI Robot, um, a robot like GI Robot, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they did that with Superman, right? So they had the
Mm-hmm.
robots for Superman robots. So they could
Yeah.
have done that with GI Robot, and bam, there you go. Because they were filming at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, honestly, I'm still I'm still fun by it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, this season was a mind you, I didn't watch season 1, so for me jumping into season 2 on its own merit, an 8, that's a pretty positive thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
And me being excited for Lanterns, um, me being excited to see what DC Studios brings to the Lantern show.
Yep,
That's what
I
excites.
want to see if they can pull it off, because if they can pull off Green Lanterns and make it dope, that would be really impressed.
Lanterns is one of those shows that I think even Aaron Pierre has been saying he's been excited about because
Well,
he's
yeah, there's been a Lantern show promised for like a decade almost right now.
yeah, but you gotta remember, Jared, this is finished. I think he was saying it's finished production or something, right?
Yep. But what I mean is, so I can see why he's like, it's finally releasing.
Can you imagine if they bring Sinestro
Which
and
they
it's
are.
which they are, but it's like not Sinestro War,
They could
but
do that though.
it could lead into that.
Yep, exactly. That could be fun.
That could be something cool. Um, but I would like to see Carl Rayner. I would love
Mm-hmm.
to see Carl Rayner in the Lantern show.
He's probably maybe later he'll show up, because I know he's going to show up in the My Adventures with Green Lantern.
Yeah, but I think as a DC Studios thing, you
Mm-hmm.
got to remember
Yeah.
I think there was 4 or 5 lanterns that are from Earth.
There's way more than that, I think. I think there's like 6 or 7 at this point. They keep adding them.
But I mean the core ones, right? Everyone knows, right?
The core ones are arguably Hal, John, Guy, and Kyle. Jessica is getting there.
Yeah. But I think we won't get to Jessica till probably year 5 of the
I wouldn't say
DC.
that. I would say maybe they hint at her or something like that. I don't think we're gonna have to wait that long for Jessica Cruz in the DCU.
Okay. It's still exciting because
Yeah, of course.
we've never had a Lanterns TV show
Mm-hmm.
that can build.
That's live action, and because like we had the animated show, which was great.
Yeah. But this is just on a whole new spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got an older Hal Jordan and you got a younger, what's his name, John Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Now I wonder, did Aaron Pierre watch Justice League and Justice League Unlimited for his Green Lantern show?
I wonder, or maybe just read any of the John Stewart comics. Probably, I don't know. We'll see.
It's a question, but honestly, I'm excited for all the stuff next year. Supergirl, though,
that's going to be interesting. I'm interested in that because that's going to be determined. That's going to determine the quality of the Wonder Woman movie, because the same girl that's writing that is writing a Wonder Woman.
Sorry, recap that again. Sorry.
The same person that's writing Wonder Woman, that's writing Supergirl, is writing Wonder Woman. So, however good that movie is going to determine how good the Wonder Woman movie is.
Like I said, honestly, I wonder what run they're gonna go for the Wonder Woman run.
Hopefully, it's not the Tom King run. That's all I'm gonna say.
But like I said, I don't know. It's like I said, I don't know how they wiggle around things. But I will say this before we do Q&As, or we'll do I'll do a segment on the show doing a question. So I asked my guest a question on the show about the show. So like 10 questions, you got to get it right. So Jared, what do you predict for Lanterns? Do you think Lanterns we will get Peacemaker, or do you think we'll see Lanterns?
I mean, well, we could get PeaceMaker because apparently Gunn said that's gonna be part of the story, so it could, or it'll probably be like it's involved in the like murder that they're investigating. So maybe.
Okay. All right, now let's get to the questions section, because this
All
is the
right.
point where I ask you questions to see if you've been paying attention to the show.
Okay.
Okay? So question number 1 is, where did PeaceMaker go to the Pocket Universe?
Sanctuary?
No. At the beginning. Where did he go at the beginning of the season?
Nazi Earth.
Correct.
Or Earth X, as it's known in the comics, of course.
Yeah, Earth X. Yeah, correct. Did he meet his alternate self?
Yes, he did. He killed him.
He did a fatality.
Fatality. Yeah, I love that.
PeaceMaker wins.
Peacetality.
Yes, peacetality. Okay. Third question. When you saw Augie and Keith, together in a family room, drinking, and him pulling the ear, how did you feel about that scene?
Oh, I definitely loved John Cena. No one can ever accuse him of not being a good actor, because the dude, like, the dude acted the crap out of the material that he was working with.
Yeah, that I could give you credit for.
Mm-hmm. So, what other questions do you have?
Okay, next question. How do you feel about Amelia Harcourt being the badass? Like, what is the first thing she did when she was in the
got
season?
into a bar fight?
Yes, correct.
After insulting a man's, like, manhood?
Yes, that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely correct. Now, next, but okay, next question is that how do you feel about the peace cycle?
I think it's kind of cool. It's like he's trying to turn Peacemaker into Batman, which I'm like, okay. I just really wish we could live in a world again where no one knew who Peacemaker was, because I really don't like this character. I just don't. That's just me.
Okay. How do you feel about the badass scene that John Cena did?
Which one?
The hostage scene.
That was cool. The cool action scenes. I'm like, okay, the action in this was also really, really well done for a grounded show.
So, what did Peacemaker do to the hostage, to the hostages? Like, what did they do to? What did he do to them?
He threw them out a window, I think. I haven't seen that episode in a while, so I could be wrong on that.
Okay, I'll let you off on that one. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he threw them out a window or something like that. Oh, no. His brother showed up in the armor and just rammed right through them. I remember that because the helicopter was coming in, and his brother Keith rammed through the helicopter and blew it up.
Yes, that is correct. All right. This is the final question, and this is going to be a good one. What did you notice about the final episode that leads up to the next project?
Sanctuary. I'm sorry, it's not called Sanctuary. That's the thing with Mutant Crisis. It's called Salvation.
Salvation. Correct. That is Salvation. Jared, you got them all correct.
Yay! Obviously, I watched the damn show.
He watched the show, so he was paying attention. Guys, he's paid attention to the show. Now, if you guys don't know, Jared is one of those guys that gives it a chance, and whether he likes it, whether or not, he puts his opinion out there. So, so I'm proud of you. You got it correct.
Thank you.
So now this is the part of the segment where we kind of do a little anything we want to promote. So Jared, if you got anything to promote, I know you've got something big on your that you're currently doing. So you want to promote that? You can share that on screen and
sure.
people can see that.
So currently, I am in the process. Well, actually, I'm not in the process. I'm done. But I'm promoting a indie comic campaign that I'm doing called Athena, the Goddess of Thunder, and I actually have, if you want, a little trailer.
Please do. Please share it on my screen.
So there you go. It should be there. So and you should be able to hear it. The volume's a little low, but let's go with that.
My home has been invaded.
That's Brit.
My people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Centragon, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.
And now is gonna be I have to swap out the video with one that says like now available on Kickstarter. But yeah, it is available, and it's a project that I put like a year or two of hard work into, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
And guys, if you want me to, I can put it in the chat. Jared, if you want to give me the link, I can put it in the chat.
Sweet. All right, here you go.
Okay, thank you very much. Copy link. All right, guys, as you can see, this is the hold on 1 second. This is the Kickstarter for Jared's project, and it has started off. What is your goal, Jared?
Goal is currently $6,000, and so far I've raised $375. So I'm making progress on that. It started. It just launched last night. So at the time last night. So yeah, and I definitely hope you guys enjoy it. It should be a fun project. I had a blast writing it, and I have a plan for over like 12 issues of content currently. If it's really popular and I have other stories in mind, which I already kind of do, then yeah, I'll go beyond that, obviously.
Guys, if you want to back the project, there's the Kickstarter. It's in the chat now. You guys can back Jared's project. It's a great comic. If you guys are into your indie stuff, then please do. And if you want to get Jared on your channel and for him to talk about Athena, the goddess of thunder, then please reach out to him, because I would reach out to him. And
Comics League JT right down there on Twitter.
Yeah, just reach out to him and he'll schedule a time.
Hell yeah.
So that is pretty much what I've got time for this week's in review for PeaceMaker season 2, episodes 6 to 8. I want to say firstly thank you to Jared for taking part in this absolutely wonderful discussion, talking about, breaking down episodes 6 to 8 and reviewing it with you and having a fun time, having a blast, asking you questions as well. And honestly, this has been a pleasure. Also, I want to say a big thank you to Bianca again for 5 gifted memberships. I was not expecting 5 gifted memberships, but I appreciate the 5 gifted memberships. And when you do get time, please do watch the stream back, because you might learn something. You might learn a few things that what Jared that you might have missed out, that Jared mentioned. That no, he's the comic book guy. He's the comic book guy. I'm the gaming guy. So he puts his knowledge to your guys' test. Anyway, Jared, is there any other YouTube videos you got planning or streams you got planned up?
So this week, Britt and I are going to be doing a stream where we cross over Superman and Wonder Woman with the Alien and Predator. So there is that for Halloween and stuff. So that's gonna be fun. For movie night, we're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Ugh! And for Under Two Capes, we're going to be actually talking about like a year of the absolute DC universe. For Comics League Dark, among other news topics, we're going to be talking about like Warner Brothers going up for sale and what that means for like DC Comics, WB Games, obviously. And there's like a lot of news that's going on that it's going to be very, you ever have that where like there's like a lot of news that happens and I go, how am I going to fit all this?
It's just crazy. But is that pretty much it?
Yep,
You've got for the channel?
Yep.
As for me, on my channel, I have got a Lego Batman video that I'm working on currently, which is going to be talking about the Snyder Batmobile and much more Batmobiles, including the Batman the Animated Series Batmobile, the 97 Batmobile. I'll be talking about some of these reveals on how big an impact it can be for the video game and why I think that you should be excited for this Batman, Lego Batman game.
Yes.
Why you should be excited for it. Because, guys, it's going to take me a few days to get it done, but or maybe a week or so, but it's still going to be a really good video for you guys to watch. Also, I will do my 007 First Light video. We'll be talking about the Legacy Collection and then also talking about that game and why that's also another game that you should check out. So that's what I've got planned out. And then also I'll be on Chainsaw's channel. I'm on Party Nation every Tuesday, Avenger Nation on a Monday, and then Council of Creators on Wednesday.
And you'll be on Comics League Dark. Man, Talani, you're so popular.
Hey, I'm a popular guy. What can I say?
I can't argue with you, brother. I can't argue.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I do. But in any case, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything that's come my way. I'm super grateful. And this year has been a really good year for me. 2025 has been a brilliant year. I've met many good great creators, including like Dave the Film Junkie and Chainsaw Reacts, and so many more other creators. Next time I do a TV show, guys, there will be a reaction. I promise you that. So, reaction to Lanterns. That's it. Lanterns reactions will be coming. So, on that note, I've been your boy Taladia Plays. Jared, if you want to final thing you want to say before we get out of here.
Lois Lane sucks. Can I say that?
Well, yeah, you can say that.
All right. In that case, we'll on to Lanterns.
On to Lanterns we go. All right. See you guys later.